Howdy! Did you get Mion's letter? Never mind, it's a bit of a chore. Here, check out these puppies. All the photos from yesterday. Yep, I'd probably steer clear of that mailbox of yours for today. But, even if you didn't and someone did write you a letter telling you to hold up on the investigation, you'd ignore it, wouldn't ya? 'Cause we made a promise to get to the bottom of all this, didn't we? Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to take these here photographs to the folk we talked about yesterday and find out what all they know. I'd take care of it myself, but to be honest, I can't rightly stand listening to half the folk around here for more than about a minute and a half. So the responsibility therefore lands squarely on you and your lonesome. With all this here evidence and whatnot, everybody'll have no choice but to spill the beans about what they know. At least, I assume that's how it works. So, you ready? Yeehaw! Knew I could count on you. Once we clear Logan's name, we'll be heroes. Maybe they'll hold a parade for us. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. I gotta get back to the ranch before my pa notices there ain't nobody keeping the yak mail company. Let's meet.
Hello there! What stroke of luck has brought you my way? Oh boy. It seems my secret supplier has been revealed. Yes. I told Mian that those recipes were company secrets, which was true. Only Haru and myself are privy to such knowledge. What? I was the only one left around here who knew how to make that stuff. I'm supposed to just give away my recipes like that? Come now, I've got to pay the bills too, you know? It's really so unpleasant what happened with Haru. Not only because I consider him a friend of mine, but also because of that great mind of his. He was always coming up with inventions and such. We had a really good deal. All the products he showed me how to make, I put up in my shop and we split the earnings. 50-50. I've even put aside what he'd be making. You know, if he ever comes back. Whatever would a bright and unassuming fellow be doing with a barbarian like Logan anyway? I say there must be blackmail involved. Haru would never turn against us on a dime like this. Well, friend, now that you know how to make the stuff, care to not spread it around too much? Hello there! What stroke of luck has brought you my way? That night? When Logan attacked the temple? I'm afraid I didn't see anything. I was just at home going through my inventory. I found out about all the commotion later, just like everyone else. I think it's great that you're looking into things. Haru can't be the villain they're making him out to be. He just can't be. I wish you luck in your investigations. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help. Be seeing ya. Ah, you read me like an open book. I just know wherever you're going to take me is exactly where I want to be. It was nice seeing you, but...
We'll meet again. Thank you. Goodbye.
No answer? No?
Howdy there. Any news to report on the water tower? Goodness, nowhere ever did you find this. You know, you don't need to be sneaking around, acting all suspicious if all you're after is information. Yes, this makes sense. Although I must admit, this shows a level of organization from Logan I can't say I was aware he might be capable of. No doubt you started to put things together since your arrival, but perhaps you'd best hear the tale in its entirety to dispel any misconceptions you might have about the whole ordeal. Not too long before you started living in Sandrock, a great tragedy struck this town. Howlett, the monster hunter, and his son Logan, with whom you are already quite familiar with, ran into some trouble. Howlett went diving in some ruins explicitly blocked off by the Civil Corps due to an abundance of unknown and dangerous substances. Sure enough, he became contaminated with something bizarre. Logan reacted rather wildly after Pastor Miguel quarantined his father inside the temple and refused to let Logan come in contact with him due to fears of contamination. He couldn't believe his father would be so careless as to come in contact with dangerous Age of Corruption concoctions. One night during the quarantine, Logan attacked the temple with bombs. I assume it was to free his father from the quarantine, but whatever the case, Logan botched the operation and parts of the temple collapsed. Us church folk were all outside, but Logan's father was still in there where we'd left him, and when we found him down there, he was already gone. Logan blamed us church folk for what happened, and now he seems bent on some kind of revenge. And he'd sooner take down the whole town if it means getting to us, I reckon. Howdy there. Any news to report on the water tower? Well, of course, I was there at the scene of it all, as were most of us. I came out after the explosion, but by the time I knew what was going on, Logan was long gone. I appreciate your concern on the matter, but I fear there's not much we can do but trust in the acumen of our Civil Corps to bring Logan to justice. Without hurting him too much, I hope. Try not to get discouraged. There are brighter days ahead, I'm sure of it.
Hey, it's Skinny Arms. How can the Protector serve you today? What's that? Making bombs now, are we? Ha! Finally! You're getting into building cool stuff. I meant to say something to you about all those lame screws and boards and, oh, I see. Yes, now that you mention it, I believe I have seen these kinds of bombs before. Yes. It's coming back to me. That foul Logan's paramount compatriot used those kinds of bombs as his weapons of choice. A bit cowardly, if you ask me. If you don't have the guts to look someone in the eye as you punch them in the teeth, well, in my book, you shouldn't be fighting at all. Furthermore, these puny things would hardly scathe an indomitable chevalier such as myself. Hey, it's Skinny Arms. How can the Protector serve you today? Aha, trying to track down that dastardly Logan, are you? Good on you, Skinny. If you do find out where he is, why not tell me first? Skip the civil corps. Skip the paperwork, you know. Make sure Logan gets some real justice. No. I thought we were doing extrajudicial stuff already. It's not such a stretch from what you're doing now. Fine. What do I know? Let me think. The night Logan attacked our temple, I was at home pumping iron. Yes, I believe I was trying to perfect a 300-kilogram clean and press with one finger. But my darn palmar interosseous muscle was acting up. As soon as I heard the explosion, I rushed out of my room to see Burgess knocked out. That's something I see all the time, but what really caught my attention was the exploded temple. I managed to catch a glimpse of Logan riding away with someone, but they were too far gone for me to pursue. Maybe it really is time for me to get a loyal steed to call my own. Nah, I'll just keep training to run faster. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to my story as much as I enjoyed telling it. Say, Skinny Arms, you're a good listener. I'll have to tell you stories more often. Hey, it's Skinny Arms. How can the No more questions, I agree. There's a very good chance there's something around here that could aid in Logan's apprehension. Do let me know if you come up with anything good.
You're looking into the Logan incident, eh? Dreadful stuff. Quite displeased to see things turn out the way they did. Not to mention the fallout since, but it can't be helped. To be blunt, if Howlett had stayed out of the ruins we all know are too dangerous to explore, he'd still be alive. Yes, I made the decision to put Howlett under quarantine. Yes, it did enrage Logan and drive him to madness. But I did what was best for the town, and I'd do it again if I had to. It's not a pleasant tale, just like the state of our world, unfortunately.
Hey, are you okay? Oh, this. I never should have drew this. If I knew what was going to happen, I never would have. We used to go on lots of adventures. Then Logan changed. He didn't care about me or my mom or anybody. My mom said if things get better, we were going to rebuild a school in Sandrock. But things got worse because of Logan. Now I'm the only kid in town. He told me right before the incident everything would be okay. He lied.
Hey there. How you holding up? Wow. Where'd you dig up an old relic like that? Yep, that's me in the background. But I can't say I remember too much about this day. Oh, people were always getting married in the blue moon back then. Logan's ma. What was she like? I can barely remember her face if not for this photo. She skipped town not too long after Logan was born. Shocked everyone with that move. Hardly worth mentioning Logan's old man. Howlett took it the hardest. But you'd never have guessed it from this photo. Looks like a match made in heaven. Except for the tear down the center, I guess. When Howlett came back with the disease and was put in quarantine by the church, Logan really lost it. He started shouting for them to release his paw outside the temple door. Understandable. Howlett was all he had his whole life. Well, that's not completely true. I considered Logan a friend once. I really just hope he sees through all this madness and turns himself in. Then maybe the healing can begin. Hey there! How you holding up? Yeah, not that night. But he came into the saloon that day with Haru, and they were acting real strange, buying up a lot of supplies. It was later that I heard that they blew up the temple in an attempt to get Howlett out, and the old man died in the blast. Frankly, even if Logan did manage to get Howlett out of quarantine, it would have endangered us all with the disease. Real sad story. Other than that, though, I'm afraid I don't know much of anything. So you're trying to find out more about Logan, huh? Yeah, I don't blame you. It's all pretty weird. Never heard of a decent fella going bad so quick like that. My hope through all of this is that nobody else gets hurt. Well, good luck with whatever it is you're doing. And let me know if there's anything else I can do to help.
Hey there. Hope the pressure's not getting to you too much. You're trying to find out more information about Logan, huh? Well, ain't that cute? I'm afraid there ain't much more to know than what's already been known. But I suppose I wouldn't mind you proving me wrong on that. What? Yeah, I made this equipment. So what? I can't hardly be held responsible for everything that moves in and out of my shop now, can I? What are you implying, huh? You got a lot of nerve. I'm afraid there ain't much more to know than what's already been known. But I suppose I wouldn't mind, huh? So what if I did? What was I supposed to do? His mind was made up. If he had half of mine left at all. Look, I was close with Howlett and Logan as well. What happened to that man was a gosh dang travesty. But that's just the way things are out here sometimes. All it takes is one slip up, and you're gone. I always considered myself to be like an uncle to Logan. I would have taken him in, but I guess he didn't see it that way. I worry about what Logan might do, and I worry about how the more things escalate, the less likely I'm ever gonna see that pup I used to know ever again. There ain't gonna be an amicable settlement at the end of all this, so don't over-involve yourself. Be seeing ya.
Oh, hey there. Here for the ceremony, huh? Well, this is it. I paid an arm and a leg getting advertising all the way out to Atara. And this is the turnout. Logan. Why couldn't he have blown up the water tower next week? Or better yet, not at all? Well, on the bright side, since there's no one here, there's no one to see how miserable of a failure this is. Thanks for coming out to show your support. I'm sure you've still got plenty to do after the attack. It means a lot. This ain't the end of the world, though. Maybe once the Civil Corps finally catch that no-good-Nick, I'll paint the sleds a different color and rebrand the whole thing or something. I even had this gift specially picked out for my first customer, and I guess my first customer is you now, huh? I guess technically Burgess was here first, but his beliefs wouldn't allow him to accept a relic. Here you go. Oh, speaking of Burgess, he wanted to talk to you. He feels responsible for getting the ball rolling on this thing, I guess. I mean, this is nobody's fault but Logan's, but I couldn't convince him otherwise. Catch you later. We'll get him next time.
Hmm? Yeah? Yeah?
Hey there. Gosh, real shame about all this. It seems like this whole entertainment thing blew up in our faces, and it's all my fault. If I just hadn't bothered with that darn survey. Well, I suppose one could blame Logan, as his antics did scare everyone away from the ceremony, but oh shucks, let's call it 50-50. What's more, I realized that my survey, which was intended to support the need for giving people in town a rest, actually ended up putting you builders back to work. Well, I'm real sorry that things turned out like this. Foresight is not your strong suit. Miguel always says that about me. If it means anything, I did want to tell you that I think you did a really great job on the sand sled thing, even if nobody showed up. All the stuff you've been doing for Sandrock? Well, a lot of people appreciate it. We're all rooting for you. So, I saved up some money and got you a week-long pass to ride on Katori's sand sled game as many times as you want. I got one for Mian, too, since you guys have been working so hard lately. Well, have fun. Be careful, those sleds can get real speedy. Oh, hi. You're looking kind of serious. Is everything okay? Oh, gosh. You want to know about that night? I was taking the late shift, helping out with patrols, making sure nobody snuck in to see old Howlett, who was being quarantined. It was a stressful time for all of us, but obviously Logan was affected the most. Sure enough, he showed up and the last thing I remember is me politely explaining to him that going into the temple right then was against the rules. Then everything went black. When I woke up, everybody helped me to my feet and wanted to know what happened, but I didn't really see anything. It's all very sad. I can't help but think if Logan hadn't acted so irrationally, perhaps his father would still be... Some things are best not to dwell on. What happened happened. No one wanted it to be this way. Blaming anyone won't bring him back. I think the sooner Logan accepts that and takes responsibility for what he did, well, perhaps the sooner we can have him back in the flock. Maybe the reason no one's talked about this much since you've been here is we are all really sad about the way things turned out. maybe some people also fear that it's something they did that drove Logan down this path. Logan will come back to the light one day. I'm sure of it. Just make sure to stay safe out there. And remember, we're all in this together, so don't hesitate to ask for help.
Oh, hey, you're diving today too, huh? Hey, check this out! A mysterious black box. It doesn't have a latch or anything, and I can't break it open either. Believe me, I tried. I have to know what's inside. It's driving me crazy! The box must be holding something inside. What do you think I should do? Sure, Director Chi knows all kinds of stuff. Maybe he's even encountered one of these things before. I'll stop by the research center tomorrow around 6 p.m. You should join me if you have time. Well, I've got enough ores for today, I reckon. Be seeing you. You did what?
I did what I had to do.
What you did was impulsive. And you put our friend in danger. I was coming up with a plan.
All right, I reckon when you put it that way, I did what I had to do in order to get things done in a time frame that I could find satisfactory. Which is basically the same thing. Look, here they are now. Everything went fine, right? Yeehaw! See, it's like I said. Not everybody's a detective. Folks got their own problems to worry about. Getting away with stuff is real easy. Half of the time it works every time.
That's very specious reasoning.
Much obliged.
Well, if you're safe, I guess there's no point in getting hung up on what's already happened. Can you guys just promise me that you'll be more careful in the future?
Ain't y'all ever heard of all's well that ends well? Fortune favors the bold. Stupid is as stupid does. I thought y'all were into book learning. Oh, all right, fine. We promise. With that being said, spill the beans. What'd you find out?
I see.
Wow. So, what does it all mean?
I have no idea.
What? Come on, you said talking to everyone would help us solve the case.
Elsie could really do with a little less backseat detectiving right now.
I'm sorry, I'm just all riled up.
I think the best thing we can do for now is just wait until we have something else to go on. Thanks for doing all you did. Your summary on what you learned today was incisive and insightful.
Yeah, you went out there and hit the streets like a real hard-boiled bad egg. In fact, that gives me an idea. Tomorrow, I'm gonna give you a surprise. No, not one of thems. A real surprise. You just better ready. I'm off.
Might want to double check your windows are locked tonight. Nothing more for us to do now. Better just get back to it. See ya!
Howdy. I only really feel like I'd made it as a storyteller when City Hall started asking me to do the opening ceremonies for the running of the Yakmel. It's a huge honor.
Hello.
Hey there. See you later.
Welcome, one and all, to the world-famous Sandrock's own running of the Yakmals. Shout out to City Hall for inviting me here today. Now, I'll bet some of you are wondering, why the heck do we all get together every year to try to bump Yakmals into each other anyhow? It is with great esteem that I shall now honor an age-old tradition and regale y'all with the tale that started it all, the Shonash Clash. Many years ago, the great-grandparents of our very own ranch couple, Cooper and Mabel, were traveling yak-back through the Eufaula, delivering various supplies up and down to the earliest settlers, long before the railways were ever built. Back then, the only road was through a narrow part of the North Shonash Canyon, and one day these two yak boys were passing through from both ends at the same time. They ran into each other halfway through, their carts in tow, each blocking the other's path. One called out, "You back out so I can get through!" And the other replied, "No, you back out so I can get through. I'm more than halfway through the pass. You back out." "No, you ain't. That's 1/3 and 1/4 at best. You back out." This back and forth went on for hours, and pretty soon other travelers showed up and were understandably peeved at the situation. Funny thing about it all is this narrowest part of the pass was no more than 30 meters long. They could have all been out there in a couple of minutes. But no, both of those fellas were too stubborn to back down. Soon enough, push came to shove. Literally. Other folks on Yakback started bumping into our two antagonists, front and back, till it was just bumper yak bedlam. In the craziness of it all, carts were knocked over, packs were cut open, food and other supplies were getting tossed all out on the ground. Before too long, everyone came to their senses. One person started to laugh, then another, and pretty soon they were all tumbling off their mounts, howling over the absurdity of it all. Here, I'm afraid, is where it gets dark. When they all looked around, they noticed that the two fellas who started this whole debacle were both dead as doornails. Both of them with their hands wrung out around each other's neck. In all the chaos, it seemed those two boys really never had let their bad blood quit boiling. The rest of them folks, they all picked up their supplies. It had gotten late. They camped out there at the pass and cooked up all the food that had fallen off the mule yaks and carts and such, conversing all about what had happened. Word spread and, well, here we are, all these years later, still commemorating the event. So all y'all, I invite you to partake in the festivities. Hop on a yak mill, bump into your best friend, and try not to take it too personal if you get bumped yourself. With all that being said, I hereby declare the Sandrock annual running of the Yak Mill Festival begun!
prevent desertification.
Hey, we got started without you. Hope you don't mind. So, yeah, like I was saying, I've tried everything. Drilling, heat, dropping it.
Yes. I don't suppose you have a steel ball on you, do you?
Oh, sure, but... What the...
Here's your bar back.
Thank you, Director. Whoa, look at all this old stuff. And there's a letter. I hope you're reading this under the light of the sun again and not still from the darkness. It's been 60 years since that event, which some people are starting to call the Day of Calamity. I hope this capsule can travel through time and show that whatever happened, there was some warmth in these dark times. Wishing you luck and a bright sun, Hicks. My Peach! It's a time capsule from the Age of Darkness! From right around the time of the first Builder Victor! What are the odds of us finding this? Wow, and everything here is preserved perfectly! What do you want to look at?
Unfortunate. Based on the approximate age of the box, I was hoping we'd find something undiscovered. These are all objects of interest, but I'm afraid none are particularly unique.
This letter has a bunch of stuff about gangs and hurting people. Director, was the Age of Darkness really that bad?
Ah, I hadn't realized you had failed your history classes. How surprising. Allow me to enlighten you. Yes. In fact, this letter is rather tame in its descriptions. In the first 50 years after the Day of Calamity, the surviving population were lucky to locate even one proper meal per day, resulting in desperate panic and constant tribe-like warfare over resources. In combination with the poor nutrition, poor hygiene, and lack of sunlight, which led to various physical ailments and illnesses, the result was the lowest average life expectancy in human history. All in all, the era is quite suboptimal for research, and I, for one, am rather glad to exist currently.
Gosh, that sounds so horrible! But at the same time, it really is amazing there were people back then like Hicks here who never lost hope. Can you imagine? If it wasn't for heroes like Hicks and Peach, we might still be underground and worrying about where our next meal might come from. Director...
Social history is not exactly an interest of mine. I suggest if you have more questions, you do your own research or someone who cares.
Sure, Director. Thanks for all your help. Wow, what a find! I knew a bit about the Age of Darkness, but this is my first time getting such a hands-on experience with history. We need to try hard to carry on the legacy of these people from the past. That gives me an idea. Say, why don't we make our own time capsule? It could be our chance to contribute our knowledge and experiences to the people of the future. Director, could you draw us out a...
No.
Fine. I mean, it's just a box. How hard could it be to come up with a design? Why don't you let me figure out what it's made of, and I'll send you a diagram as soon as possible. I knew you'd be into it! While you're working on it, I'll gather up some historical stuff we can put in there. Maybe we can provide the people of the future with something more substantial than our old pal Hicks. Anyway, once you're done, bring the box to me. Then we'll go bury it. Oh, and let's each also bring one personal item that we want to send to the future. Make sure it's something that doesn't expire. Okay, it's a plan. Catch up with you soon.